There was a concrete wall there about 2 foot high and a big steel pole.
But that wall is now gone after police say a man hit a truck, sending it into a building. We'll take a look at the damage.
What a nail biter. UK managed to remain undefeated. We'll have highlights from the Cats' double overtime win in Texas.
And we are still tracking quite the chill in the air out there tonight. Not quite as bad as it has been. Tomorrow we'll go above freezing for the first time since early January. And then we start tracking wintry precipitation. I'll have the latest.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
For the first time in a week, we could see temperatures above freezing. Good evening, I'm Kristen Kennedy. We're seeing a little improvement from the sub-zero temperatures we've been dealing with all week. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is tracking some wintry mix headed into the area. Hey, Jim.
You know what? We should have a party. We're going to be above freezing. The problem is it won't last long because we have that wintry mix coming our way. Tonight, Defender is clear and calm. Tomorrow, it'll be a very different story around here. Right around this time tomorrow night, we'll likely be talking about a wintry mix and then eventually some rain as we work our way through the next couple of days. We're getting it all over the next several days, though, as we go through midweek. Tonight, we continue to watch our southern skies for this moisture that we're seeing in Texas, Louisiana, because it's going to continue working toward us. And as it does, we'll start to get in on some of that mix here across parts of central Kentucky. So that's one thing we'll pay very close attention to. So overnight, here's the deal. It's not as cold, but it's still pretty darn cold because we're talking about 15 to 20 degrees for lows tonight. Most of us in the teens. I put the 20 in there to be optimistic. Highs tomorrow will be above 32 degrees, but the problem is after that, the wintry precip kicks in. So some freezing rain, sleet, all possibilities briefly tomorrow, but enough that we could have some issues out of it, and that's something we'll watch very closely heading into the afternoon and evening for you tomorrow. I'll have the latest on that coming up in just a few minutes.
40 minutes wasn't enough for UK today. Their game against Texas A&M went into double overtime. And Lee K. Howard joins us now with highlights. Hey, Lee K.
Hey, Kristen. Yeah, this was not the kind of game John Calipari expected from his guys coming off that close overtime win against Ole Miss earlier in the week. Going on the road for the first time in SEC play today, Cats hoping to avoid the slow start, but no such luck. A&M races out to the 9-0 lead. Daniel House with the bucket and the foul. Now, Devin Booker was a spark for the Wildcats early on. It appeared to be the only Cat ready to play today. He was brilliant from the field, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, 18 for Booker. Cats trailed 28-25 at the half. Second half, Aggies not going away. House with a nasty slam. UK by 2. House led all scorers with 25. Aaron Harrison gets into the passing lane and finishes at the other end. Harrison had 12 before fouling out. This one goes to overtime, and in the first overtime off the steal, Booker, the lay-in plus the foul. Cats led it 55-53, but we'd go to a second overtime, tied at 57, and in the second OT, pretty give and go there for Courtney Robertson, the bucket and the foul. Aggies on top. Game tied at 63 when Tyler Eulis hits his only bucket of the game, a 3, and boy, was that a big one. The Cats were up 66-63, and somehow the Wildcats find a way to survive. 70-64 the final score, and they remain unbeaten at 15-0. John Calipari said after the game that his team is not very good right now. We'll hear from him coming up a little bit later in game time.
Right now, we're tracking a developing story out of Boyle County. One man is behind bars, another in the hospital after an argument turned violent. Police in Boyle County say a nephew and uncle got into a fight inside a home on York Lane in Junction City. We're told Brandon Hobbs went outside to get a taser and started tasing his uncle, Robert Hobbs. Police tell us Robert then grabbed a steak knife and stabbed Brandon in the chest multiple times. Crews flew Brandon to UK hospital. Robert is in the Boyle County Detention Center. A dangerous and destructive chain of events unfolded in Nicholasville this morning. Police there say a driver hit a parked truck, causing that truck to hit a business. We talked to the owner of the business, and tonight, WKYT's Garrett Weimer shows us what she'll have to do to get her shop back in shape.
This porch is now a parking space, but it's not supposed to be.
There was a concrete wall there about 2 foot high and a big steel pole and he took out all that and kept on going. Him and Kaywood Ledford.
Brenda Bussell owns Granny's House, a variety store on Main Street in Nicholasville. It was around 4:30 in the morning when a car hit the truck parked outside, plowing it into the building, and the driver kept going. An officer tells us the driver then hit a tree in front of City Hall. Police caught up with him several hours later. As for Granny's House, Bussell says the building will be okay, but she did lose some merchandise that was on the porch.
Yeah, I had several pieces of cast iron furniture, old furniture, and the truck's sitting on top of all of that right now. And there's a trailer buried under there too.
And even though Bussell says her business can stay open, her work is far from over.
Big cleanup. I'd say we're going to get a lot more damage once they try to get that truck out from under there.
A crash, Bussell says, that caused quite a shock, but thankfully no injuries. In Nicholasville, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Nicholasville police cited the driver, Jason Collins, for leaving the scene of an accident. 5 people are recovering tonight after a crash in Pulaski County. Deputies there say 77-year-old Billy Kelly was trying to drive around a curve when the sun blinded him. His car ran across the center line and crashed into a Toyota Camry. Crews flew the driver of the Camry to UK hospital. They took 3 passengers in that car to another hospital. No word yet on their conditions. Tonight, police are trying to track down 3 teenagers they say robbed a restaurant at gunpoint. Lexington police tell us the teens went into the Sonic on New Circle around 8 and demanded cash from the clerk. We're told a witness saw them get into a dark-colored Saturn. Police say a clerk tried to follow them and the teens then assaulted him. The clerk's injuries, we're told, are minor. A Central Kentucky family plans to rebuild after a fire destroyed their barn, killing several of their animals. Fire crews tell us the fire started just after 9 on Red House Road in Richmond. The owner of the barn says they were watching TV when they saw the flames inside the barn. 5 calves died in that fire.
It makes me sad because we do work really hard, everybody that's in my family, and we're going to be kind of at square one trying to get back the things, just a simple shovel.
Beck is grateful firefighters were able to contain the flames and keep them from spreading. A Kentucky rescue group is nursing a dog back to health, and they say his recovery could cost thousands of dollars. Just before Thanksgiving, a fire badly injured Butch, a pit bull mix. Rescue volunteers say his injuries went untreated for nearly 24 hours. The rescue group now has big plans for the recovering pup.
I want him to be a therapy dog for kids or people in the burn unit. He does not let anything stop him. People stare at him, and I just think he could just be a little blessing to anyone.
To donate to Butch's recovery fund, just go to WKYT.com. We have a link there to Lexington Pit Crew's website. We're tracking the investigation into a string of crimes in southern Kentucky. Deputies in Laurel County arrested Daniel Witt and Dylan Southerland in connection to a series of utility thefts. Deputies believe the 2 men stole trailers from homes and businesses this last month. Most of the trailers are worth anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000. Both men are charged with receiving stolen property. A Kentucky man now faces charges after police uncovered new evidence in a rape case. 29-year-old John Wayne Croft is charged in a 2007 rape case in Washington state. Police say they collected forensic evidence in the case but never sent it to the crime lab. We have a traffic alert for you tonight. The state is rescheduling work on New Circle between Versailles and Leestown roads. The left lane of the outer loop will remain closed until 5 a.m. Sunday. The left lane of the inner loop will close from 7 p.m. Sunday to 5 a.m. Monday. The entire road will close both nights for 30-minute intervals beginning at 10 p.m. The state is asking drivers to avoid the area if they can. It's all part of a project to widen New Circle Road. Coming up, it is a cause that hits close to home. How a group of Clark County High School students are spreading awareness of a life-threatening disease.